Thank you, Marina. In general, it is always a welcome development if our outside partners decide to establish good relations among themselves, if they embark on normalization of their relations. However, when it comes to the issue of opening an embassy in Jerusalem, here I would have to say that this is a regrettable decision on the side of Kosovo, because this decision basically is diverging Kosovo from EU position on the issue of Jerusalem. For the European Union, the issue of Jerusalem is something that is very, very clear when it comes to the diplomatic representation of the EU member states. I just recall that all the embassies of EU member states and EU delegation are located in Tel Aviv based on the appropriate or corresponding decisions by the UN Security Council resolutions and European Council conclusions. And the long-standing position of the European Union on the issue of Jerusalem is that the final solution, the status of Jerusalem, has to be found through direct negotiations between the Israelis and Palestinians. They need to resolve this. The status of Jerusalem as a future capital of both states, and the EU position is not changed. Therefore, this is a regrettable decision by the Kosovo, by our partners in Kosovo. And let me recall that Kosovo has identified EU integration as its strategic priority, and it's expected, therefore, to act in line with this commitment. The possible consequences, well, as said, Kosovo has defined EU integration as its strategic priority, as a commitment for a better future of its people. So it's just a logical consequence that the EU and the member states would expect Kosovo to progress on the path of EU accession by aligning with EU policies and adoption of EU principles. And when it comes to foreign policy, the gradual alignment with EU's foreign policy decisions and positions is one of the conditions. So if you don't deliver on the conditions, then you cannot dream about fulfilling your ambition about joining the EU eventually. And you mentioned, Jarakina, the EU delegation in Kosovo. I think this issue has been discussed here very many times. You know that the EU as such has no position on the status of Kosovo. This is a recognition issue for the member states to decide. And as long as there is no unity on this among the member states, there are still 5 countries who do not recognize independence of Kosovo. So as long as there is no EU unity on this recognition issue, there cannot be a formal, full-fledged delegation open in the country, but EU is represented in Kosovo. We have office in Kosovo, and the contacts are ongoing, and we are entertaining our contacts and our work and cooperation with our partners in Kosovo for the benefit of this European aspiration of the people in Kosovo and for the benefit of people themselves. About foreign policy alignment of other countries, I'm not sure if I caught it correctly. You mentioned also Serbia. Indeed, I mean, Serbia also signed a bilateral agreement with the Trump administration about their respective relations with Israel. But what we are reacting today is about facts and actions that have been already made. When it comes to Serbia, Serbia has not moved towards opening the embassy in Jerusalem so far. But after this agreement was signed in Washington in September last year, the EU was also very, very clear, recalling our position and also our expectation from Serbia as well to gradually align with foreign policy decisions and positions of the EU, because this is one of the basic conditions in the accession process. You have to adopt EU acquis, you have to adopt EU policies and decisions. So this is what is happening in the course of the accession process, and this is being followed and reviewed and appreciated by all the member states who then decide about next steps in the accession process. On Augustine, on Serbia, I can only recall that the EU position on the alignment, foreign policy alignment of Serbia is very clear, and it's being repeated very often and underlined to our Serbian partners as well. We reiterate the need for Serbia to gradually align, to fulfill its commitment to gradually align with the EU common foreign and security policy in line with the negotiating framework. That's all I can say. And you know that the process, the accession process, it's a process. So not everything has to happen in one particular moment, but it's a process when there is the delivery expected gradually and at a certain point. When it comes to the mood in Kosovo, you said that people are asking what is the moral right of the EU. Well, we are not asking Kosovo to do things or not to do things. We are saying that if you are claiming that your aspiration and your overall strategic ambition is to join the EU, there is a framework of criteria you have to fulfill if you want to join. That's the only thing what we are doing, and we are reminding what is EU principle, what is EU position, what is EU policy that needs to be adopted and taken as your own. And as for the friendship and partnership and cooperation, let me remind you that since, if I'm correct, since 2007 until 2020, the EU spent almost 2 billion euros in helping Kosovo to develop, improving lives of people, improving infrastructure, etc. I don't recall any other outside partner providing such amount of assistance, such amount of commitment, and such amount of help in order to advance forward towards what you call abstract objective of potentially belonging to the EU, but it's not abstract because this perspective is there, it's been recalled by the EU, it's very clear, and we are working on it. So we are not asking Kosovo to do things or not to do things, we are just saying that we expect that if you declare something, you deliver on your own declarations and commitments.